unveil some pretty exciting stuff. Last year, I was right here with GEEKOM, unveiling what was probably the most advanced, powerful PC we have, a lot of cooling. Even though GEEKOM has been pushing very powerful companies all the way down to December last year. Everything they do is to embrace the borders between mini PCs and desktops. The real innovation here, the real revolution here, is to replace one of 5,000 companies you can do with this. Something which is basically into the core of your VM. Now, the interesting thing is that in the very short 5 years, that GEEKOM has been present in Europe, in the world. It has achieved to impose itself as a main game player. Just in Germany, in 2025, it has achieved a 20% overall sell of the entire German market. And as Europe grows, I'm not exaggerating when I say that it's been doubling itself year after year after year over the past 5 years. Sorry about that. Over the past 10 days, personal computers have been what they are. They're old, but they're bulky. They're hot. Laptops, they're nice, but have limited lifespan. Guys they're struggling most likely will only hope for some kind of long-lasting processing. But as processing dramatically improves their computing power over the past 2 years, with our development of the PCIe 5.3 standard and NVMe, all the way down to best possible mini PCs in the world. And this is where the Radeon 8060S it follows GEEKOM's signature minimalist design language. We have a beautiful sanded aluminum shell measuring 171 by 171 by 71 millimeter. It basically holds in the palm of your hand. And the A9 megabit PC is powered by AMD's latest, newest piece of silicon, the Ryzen AI Max 395 processor. We are looking at a 4nm Zen 5 architecture processor that is unprecedented 16 core count subdivided in 32 threads. Now, with a 3 GHz base clock, going all the way up to 5.1 GHz, that's the desktop rated 5.1 GHz speed, we're talking about not only gaming, but heavy production grade processing. It's also the first mini PC blazing fast.
问你我了没？
125, 128 DDR5 memory. The DDR5 we're talking here is LPDDR5X, meaning that the memory is stored directly onto the motherboard. It's not something that we can reduce
Ich kann sogar 5 Euro. Ja, Mann.
Most of what we do, we got 8 dedicated PCI products. Having 8 dedicated PCI products in this scenario has a heavy impact. We have 2 NVMEs operated, which can now let us offer 64 gigabits of each. And that means that we can do red configuration. It means that you can do a lot of 3D rendering without bottlenecking of any what is the most attractive feature here? Which turn that makes this 89 mega into such an innovative product. It is a discrete class Radeon
电视没有关，但是这个
我昨天问我那个电子的，说不关电，
对这个
没讲。
是这样的，因为这个我们重新收进去，早上又得搬家，还得重新开一下。
为什么一个有？
没看好，然后人就来。
Here we're talking about RDNA 2.5 architecture, which means that works like scale, use the latest episode for standard that is provided by AMD, and engage. There is any AAA game out there. Now, if we go into the specs of the 8060S, Radeon 8060S, 1,560 changes. That's true processor. And it has access up to 10, up to 20, up to 96 gigabytes of the DDR5 and its longest ransom wave. And graphics card can have access to 96 gigabytes of DDR5 is absolutely. You can handle anything it was really launched in the we put together the fact that we have this kind of process, that capability, PCI equipment credentials available to that many shading station. Something that we need to see lacking. Years ago, when we had a mini PC, or a happy PC that running on 5,000, they pretty much you can do that's not understand. The question is how we take
Yeah.
I really want to underline the fact that this is the kind of processor that will address. Usually the robot processors are around between 15 to 30 watts of power. And that's beautiful. That is here we're running with a 140 watts TDP processor. A processor which absolutely can tear from, like I said, really rendering all the way down to AAA gaming. 140 watts TDP is about what an R9, R9 9950X consumes. And right over here is the key what makes it a mega special. Now, how did GEEKOM succeeded in keeping 140 watts away from the processor? First, it is cooled by a double turbine fan. This is the first time we're going to two of them. It goes and cooled this beautifully
copper-plated thin array cooler, which also has a bit of 8mm piping right there with the double contact design. Slam onto the processor and the solder run directly on the PCB. So all fed by a 360-degree right there air intake, like a 360-degree air intake. The first time you can see that kind of picture on a mini PC. Now, it is important to take a look here at the specification of the mini PC. Okay, that kind of works, and that's going to be fun. When you check, I'm going to wait for the camera. That is very intimate.
What we're going to see here is that we have two USB 4 outlets, one here, one there. They both can start data up to 14 gigabit per second each. They can do 65 watts charging each, and most importantly, they can complement that existing HDMI with display ports, meaning that this computer
Can run in the same time 4K screen. If I go back onto the video, you will see that we also have the connectivity section. Two 2.5 gigabit LAN, two surge 2.5 gigabit LAN. What's important here, we have one LAN for internet connection and the second one for our NAS creating a hard disk station or for a streaming station. We also have Wi-Fi 7, which is now well being common standard with 6.5 gigabit per second of data transfer, very low latency. We're talking about fiber optic class latency. Usually, when we go to fiber, you will see that the latency is anywhere between 9 to 11 milliseconds, which is fantastic. The real thing here, the real attraction of the Wi-Fi 7 is the fact that it can do anywhere between 11 to 15 millisecond latency, so you do not need to plug in one Wi-Fi 7 you will get. And also you can make we also have Bluetooth 5.4. What I really want to underline again, and I'm talking to creators, having all that connectivity and the mobility setup is really crucial to what you can create on the road. I'm a nomad creator. I took this thing on the road back in Minneapolis. I took it with me in French Polynesia. I had to pay my own PPA, maybe maintenance and everything, but it was really as close as I could get from my editing station. Now on the front, if we go back on the front here, you will have four 10 gigabit plug, two USB 3.8 and two Type-C. Both those Type-C can charge up to 65 watts as well, so we have phone, tablets, that'll do. Again, for creators, we have the SD 4.0, meaning that we can transfer, if I remember well, about 128 gigabit per second on this SD card, so great for 8K editing directly. Now, the start of the show is very discreet. This little power button right there is also an ID finger sensor. So you can secure your GEEKOM mini PC and don't have to set it up with password and everything. As you'll see, you just set it up like your phone, set up your phone or your index and just read it. Alright, good, next. Alright, so we're going to look at the design of the closer. I want to show you a few things. We talked about the 365 degrees radio area right there.
Now, it seems like a very simple feature, but that's something that completely changed what the mini PC could do. It's not present on any other mini PC. When I was talking about innovation and what GEEKOM can do for innovation, that is a big thing, because with that we can intake 20, 30, 40 times more air than previously possible. And that's what's going to feed the twin turbo. I want to talk also about the finish. If you get very close, come here. So this is a sanded aluminum. You can put your fingers on it. There's no fingerprints whatsoever. Look at the shiny GEEKOM logo right there. Discreet, but frontal. If you go around, you can see how the light plays onto the casing all around. And if it was not enough, this is a second air intake. The second one that you see on top of the screen, which complements the cooling system. The twin turbine takes, a single turbine will take about 35 cubic centimeter of air per second. This will bring it to 70. Again, to cool a 140 watt TDP processor, this is what you need. So now we're going to talk about a little bit, but very quickly, onto the performance of the processor and the GPU. And you can go back onto this screen whenever you want after the live. So I'm not going to go too much on this. But what we need to focus on is that the Ryzen 9950X, which is the most expensive desktop class processor we have right now from AMD, take 170 watt, that's a lot of heat, and manages to produce 2272 points of image per 23. It's the best you can have on a desktop. It's $800, $900 processor today. If you look at what the Ryzen AI Max Plus 395 can do with 105 watt, we have about 10% less, but we're using 70% less energy. So the efficiency goes through the roof. And if you compare it to the old generation of mobile processors, you can see that it was using more wattage, 20% more, and outputting 20% less points, or a differential of 40%. So truly, when you look at what the Ryzen AI Max Plus can do, 395 version of it, it is what allows us to hope for a new generation of mini PCs who will take over the desktop industry. If you're going to go on 3D Mark, so we're not doing gaming now, this is 3D Mark, this is really for the productions out there, for the people who want to create videos, content, 3D renderings, we're talking about Adobe Premiere, particularly 3D Mark. You will see that the Fire Strike can go 30,000. 13,000. Basically, the Ryzen AI Max Plus outperforms the equivalent Ryzen 9 7945HX. That's a mobile processor you will find on any laptop. And what's important on that thing? Well, this is coupled with an RTX 4060 graphics card. And in every benchmark we tried, the Radeon 8060S, which is integrated with the processor, outperforms it. It also comes to say that the DDR5X that we have, this mini PC, is really what enables this kind of results. The fact that the graphics card, the 8060S, will have direct access to this memory, to the very low latency memory, gives this kind of results. Now I want to see a little bit what it gives on gaming, on AAA gaming. I'm not going to go through all of them, but clearly you can see one common trend. The Ryzen AI Max Plus 395 will outpace the Ryzen 9 7945 with the 4060 in about all the graphics intensive games. Right? So if you go, for example, in Hitman 3, which is a very strong algorithmic 3D kind of game, with a very strong 3D engine, it will outperform it. Where it will start to weaken a little bit is if you go to very high FPS, Counter-Strike 2. Again, we're looking at something who's competing with less energy and a discrete class but integrated graphics card. Now, can we move on to the next slide? So, take a look at how the cooling system works inside. So again, we have the air intake, and this is the exhaust. The exhaust. We have our USBs.
funds. We talked about this earlier. Maybe we should just go. Oh, do you want to watch the video now? Want to take a quick look video? I'll give you a quick video.
Sorry.稍微低一点。
All right, so I want to talk to you about what are the risks we're taking when you're buying a mini PC from GEEKOM. Well,
没有没音儿了。
when you buy it, you get a 3-year limited warranty. And GEEKOM is very, how to say, client focused, client obsessed, meaning that a very large support team will be there to answer every single of your technical question. And most importantly, they usually will just swap, return the hardware for no question asked. It's a very quick, simple warranty process. Now, I want to talk about something we have not opened yet, is an AI function of our computer. Right now, most of you guys today are not Googling stuff anymore. ChatGPT, and you're asking what you can do, what's your health issues. It's this new contextual kind of AI is really changing our day to day. But you need an internet connection. But you need to be online wherever you are. What the A9 Mega does with its neural processing unit, which is a new kind of integrated processor attached to the 395 Plus, is give you access to the new OpenAI 120 standard software. You just have to download it, install it onto your Windows mobile.
没说呀，那是有点那样，他曾经就直接打在手上。
Obviously, it will renew its database so often every time you go online, but you can still run it on its existing database even if you are offline. What is also very interesting into having an NPU, a neural processing unit, is that right now we have the 120B, which will do what ChatGPT does without internet connection granted. But over the time, as we 150B count, 150B count, we will be dealing with a computer which will learn the patterns of your actions every day. When you do 3D rendering, when you do your work tasks, and we'll be able to maximize the computing data accordingly, so that it will use less computing, less power for the very same task. So there's this learning ability that the 395 Plus integrated to the Mega PC, and the A9 Mega PC is the first generation of computer who can give this. You have to keep in mind that desktop computers are just now touching the idea of doing something of that great, AI computing. Here, it's available and upgradable with time. It will only depend on what OpenAI can do. Obviously, almost sorry to say that, it can run any kind of application. It's an obvious one, but with the Windows app, it's compatible to absolutely everything. Talking of which, I need to also point out that this comes pre-loaded with Windows 11 Pro, which is kind of an expensive license, but it's integrated with the pricing of the machine. It's here, and you remember. Now, I want to talk about the crowdfunding situation we have. with GEEKOM. GEEKOM has that kind of philosophy that every time they try to innovate, they want to include all of us. The influencers, the tech industrials, but also the customers, the viewers. And it's very important to validate concepts such as, how to say, I don't want to always use the word innovating, but as groundbreaking as the 9 mega by going for your validation. And we do so by using Kickstarter. If you look at Kickstarter, I'm going to wait for it. Now if you go to Kickstarter, you will be able to see how you can get one of those. And if it works well enough, then and only then will this bring in all the components and other elements of the GEEKOM family. The pricing is something that can evolve over time. We will have different variants of the Mega 9, and I will let you discover all the different options we have on the Kickstarter page. But again, this is a very crucial process that GEEKOM holds dear to its heart, is to make sure that you give your opinion, you validate the process and the concept by buying directly from Kickstarter. That's what we've done last year at IFA. Right here is the GT1 Mega, the water cooling system, which was deployed here, which we all love so much. And this is what we're going to do probably. We're doing it now, but we're also going to do it next year and the year after. You are part of the innovative drive, you are part of the conceptualization of GEEKOM. So please go to Kickstarter, give your products or not, let your voice be heard. Alright, so right now I'm going to end this live stream. I'm just going to let you know that we have many more live streams going to come through the next few days on the weekend. One live stream we're going to probably do tomorrow morning or tonight. We'll also, how to say, we're going to show you how it works inside. We're going to open it, we're going to disassemble it, and show you all the components one by one and what they look like inside. Another live stream we will do in the next few days, and that's probably my favorite. We're going to test live, especially for gaming, for outdoor premiere, for production tool, directly on our screens here. Alright, so I'll see you on the next live stream, and thank you for watching.